Hello guys, this is Negacious. What's going on? In the last episode, and god freaking damn it, I always forget to say welcome back to Katawa Shoujo. Welcome back to Katawa Shoujo. In the last episode, we confronted Emi about her, her status or her feelings towards us, I suppose. And after we went through Emi's verbal assault regarding on her nightmares and other things that have been bothering her, she said that she's lost everything already once, so she doesn't want to trust me or anyone else but herself, so that she doesn't have to lose it again. So, hence, we went to the morning run the next morning with her, and she suddenly invited us to actually go visit her family during the break. So here we are on a bus, ready to visit Emi's home. I don't think I like riding on buses. Actually, I think I'm pretty comfortable saying that as a fact. They sway a lot, they smell funny, and you can feel every bump in the road. I'm really not looking forward to this. Plus, Emi's legs keep making a clanking noise that draws the attention of everyone else on the bus. She's in shorts again, and she's got long socks drawn up on her prosthetics so they don't look so obviously false again. But that doesn't stop the odd look or two every time her legs bump together with an audible clunk. I shift nervously in my seat, and Emi raises an eyebrow questionably. She doesn't seem to mind the stares, either that or she doesn't even notice that people are staring. I'm sure she's gotten her fill of odd looks before. After a certain amount of time, I doubt she'd notice anymore. Not that she'd ever tell me if I asked. Another fact is, I'm not just uncomfortable about the bus. I can't seem to come to terms with the fact that Emi appears to be trying to bring me closer while at the same time pushing me away. Meeting the parents is a big deal, right? Not that I haven't already met Emi's mother, but that was just an acquaintance. That was just as an acquaintance. Now it's going to be as Emi's boyfriend, with everything that implies. I can feel my heart pounding in my chest, an echo of that snow-covered afternoon that... God dang it. That feels like it was so long ago, it might as well be another life entirely. My reading's top-notch again, I see. Except then, I didn't know what was going on. I also didn't have medication to help prevent things spiraling out of control. I've come a long way in terms of my physical health, and for the second time today, I feel like I'll be able to live normally now, or at least as normally as possible. Now, if I only could manage my relationship as well as I've managed my heart, I'd be in great shape. Ooh. Well, we're here. Emi grabs my hand as soon as we've stepped off the bus. She starts heading down the street almost immediately. Come on, we've got a couple blocks until my place. What? Oh, okay. I follow Emi down the street, watching her confident stride. This is really nice looking. She's setting kind of a quick pace for just a walk. I guess she's anxious to get there. So, does your mom do this sort of thing often? Nah, not too frequently. Mom's never been much for playing hostess. Oh yeah? Yeah, my dad was always the one pushing her to have people over. This sudden and unprompted reference to her father catches me off guard. And from the look on Emi's face, I'm not sure she meant to mention him. I think I've only ever heard her... That's a difficult sentence. I think I've only ever heard her talk about him once. All I remember is that Emi's mom told me that he wasn't around anymore. And I'm pretty sure all of us know what does that imply. Oh, your mom prefers solitude. Emi laughs, either from relief that I didn't ask about her father, or from finding my statement actually funny. Not at all! She's why I'm such an outgoing person, you know. She just prefers to be a quick guest rather than a hostess. It's less stressful that way, or so she says. Clearly, she's never had to meet her Clearly, she's never had to meet her girlfriend's mother for dinner. Emi giggles again and speaks in a teasing tone. Nervous, Hisao? You shouldn't be, you know. It's not that big a deal. Just dinner at my house, that's all. Yeah, but have you ever brought home a boyfriend before? I confess that part of me dreads hearing the answer to this. I know very little of Emi's past relationships. I don't even know if there were past relationships. Ships. Jesus Christ. No, I guess I haven't. Hey, maybe this really is kind of a big deal after all. Oh good, now I feel twice as nervous. Though, to tell the truth, I'm pretty happy to hear that I'm the first one. Maybe we've got something special after all. Bolstered by this new thought, I've managed to calm down considerably by the time Emi knocks on her front door. Hey, Mom! Open up! We're here! They look so similar. That's cute, actually. The door swings open and Mrs. Ibarazaki starts grinning at her daughter. The grin is still surprisingly similar to Emi's. Yeah, that's exactly the point. I'm never going to get used to that. What kind of voice did I give her? Kind of like more controlled voice of Emi's. You know, people normally wait a few minutes before they start shouting at the door. And most mothers say hello to their daughters instead of scolding them right away. Ah, of course. Welcome home, dear. I've missed you. This is gonna be hard. The two Ibarazakis. An affectionate hug later, we're inside, and it is only then that Emi's mom seems to remember that I'm actually here. And hello to you, Hisao. How are you? I'm quite well, thank you. Nice to not have school to worry about for a little bit. Ah, yes, you finished your exams, haven't you? That must be quite a relief for you both. It's certainly a weight off of my mind, that's for sure. Mine too. I think I slept well for the first time in weeks last night from relief alone. If this news is a surprise to Emi's mother, she doesn't show it. Still, her response betrays a note of interest. Is that so? I'm very glad to hear that, Emi. You know I get worried when you get wound up about, well, exams. Certainly, Emi's mother knows something I don't, or rather, she doesn't know that Emi's told me about the nightmares. It's interesting being able to observe how Mrs. Ibarazaki covers for Emi, that protective instinct to make sure that I don't know any more than Emi's willing to tell me. I wonder if Mrs. Ibarazaki will figure out that I know about the nightmares, or is she just keeping everything secret from everybody? Yeah, it's not been as bad this year as in the past. Hisao helped me to stay focused. Okay, I know that's not true. She even cut off contact outside of school hours during exam week. But she did see me during the day, and she told me more than once that the morning run was the only thing she looked forward to during exams, so maybe it's not that much of a lie. Either way, to hear that being around has helped even a little makes me feel a bit better. Emi's mother raises an eyebrow at this statement. Either she doesn't believe Emi, or she's as surprised as I am. Well, then it appears that it's a good thing you two have become so close. I'd tell you to take good care of my daughter, Hisao, but it looks like you're already doing that. Emi grins at this and seems to take pride in having managed to ingratiate myself with her mother so easily. Actually, I'd say it's your daughter who's Jesus Christ. Actually, I'd say your daughter's been the one taking care of me. She's gotten me out and running. I've probably been more active since meeting her than I ever was, even before. I'd actually never thought of it that much, nor had I even appreciated the humor in it. I wasn't too active before the heart attack. Pick-up games of soccer don't really count since they weren't that common. So now that I know for sure that I have a weak heart, now I run every day, pushing my luck with the help of my medication. I chuckle quietly and then realize I never finished my sentence. Well, before I had my heart attack and wound up at school here. It comes out so casually. There was a time that I would have thought twice about talking about what was wrong with me at all. But now it just seems silly to care, especially in the company of Emmy and her mother. If Emmy can be cavalier about her disability, then so can I. I think back to the track meet where Emmy declared herself the fastest thing on no legs. The fact of her obvious loss has never seemed to bother her, at least not in public. Being stuck in the wheelchair frustrated her, I know, but even that was something she dealt with on her own, despite my efforts to the contrary. Emmy has a way of bringing out the more active side of in people. I have never quite figured how she does it. Those puppy dog eyes she gets, for starters. I'm not surprised that she managed to rope you into an exercise routine. If Rin weren't just as stubborn as she is, I'm sure that Emmy would have gotten her out and running with you two. Oh, that reminds me, Rin says hello. I drift to the outer edges of the conversation again as we move into the dining room to eat. It smells delicious in here, and the spread that Emmy's mom has produced is impressive. Whoa! You've made enough food! You've made enough to feed an army in here! Is it too much? Well, you can always take some leftovers with you when you go. That sounds great! I can only handle cafeteria food for so long. Something home-cooked would be a welcome change of pace. What he said! Thanks, Mom! The food tastes as good as it smells, and there's a lull in the conversation while we all dig in. Emmy assaults her plate with the usual amount of gusto, and I will admit that I set a pretty fast pace myself. So, Hisao, I hear that you and my daughter have gotten rather close, The urge to say something like "not really" is so strong that I open my mouth to say it, but then reassert control. We're close. There's no getting around it. I mean, Emmy's brought me here, hasn't she? Fortunately, both Emmy and her mother seem to take my reaction as a sign that I'm caught off guard rather than considering saying something cruel. I suppose we have. I blame the morning runs myself. You make it sound like a bad thing, Hisao. Well, I for one found it a relief. Why's that? Emmy's always been a popular girl, but never made any close friends. This is a bit of news to me. I've always seen Emmy chatting with her classmates in the hallways. And certainly the whole track team seems to love her, but it is true that she chooses to isolate herself during lunch with Rin and me. Not exactly the sort of behavior one expects from a popular girl, after all. Then again, I've experienced her unwillingness to get close firsthand, so I can't say that I'm surprised. I was beginning to have my doubts. Emmy rolls her eyes to the ceiling and grumbles something I can't quite make out. Huh? What? What's that you just said? Nothing. Mrs. Ibarazaki chokes on her drink with laughter. You've been hanging out with the nurse too long, Emmy. I'm going to have to talk to him about corrupting my daughter. Somehow I don't think that would be very effective. I learned most of it from you anyways, not the nurse. Don't listen to her, Hisao. She's a born liar. Yeah, right. Oh, I don't know, Emmy. I think your mother has a point. What? You traitor! You're supposed to take my side in this. Yeah, but... Ow! A kick in the shins from an unmistakably plastic foot cuts me off, but not before Mrs. Ibarazaki's eyebrows shoot upwards. What about your leg? It wasn't a big deal, that's all. I was just in a wheelchair for a bit. The last few mumbled words are quickly deciphered by Emi's mother. I suspect he has experience with this sort of thing, and a worried frown appears on her face. So that's why he kept dodging my calls. Oh, Emi, I know how much you hate being in a wheelchair. No wonder you've been in such a mood lately. In such a mood. Yeah, she's happy. She's much happier on her feet, so to speak. Well, of course. She spent enough time in a chair just after the accident. She didn't get the prosthetics immediately. No, she had to finish healing up before they'd let her start the sort of therapy you've got to go through to adjust to those things. Especially since she wanted to run on them. I had no idea. Yeah, it sucked. Oh, did you see Rin's mural at the festival? Emi's sudden change of topics makes me realize belatedly, I legit cannot speak today, that she's been fidgeting the whole time her mother and I have been talking. I should have figured on her being a little skittish when it comes to talking about the accident, even around her mother. No, I didn't make it out to the festival, remember? Although I caught a glimpse of it at your track meet, it seemed pretty weird to me. Emi, I think that's more or less what she was going for. I just thought Scottish, mate. Good God. Okay. I think that's more or less what she was going for. She talked a lot about it being dreamlike, or trying to make it dreamlike. Rin's art is one of those things I don't think I'll ever understand. That's not surprising. I don't think Rin expects to be understood. She told me once that art allows people to understand stuff they wouldn't understand otherwise, but all the same she doesn't think it actually works that way. I'm surprised that Emi's talked about this with Rin extensively enough to actually have Rin's opinion, such as it is. Although I expect Rin could not, if she were so inclined, say the same thing about Emi's. Unless, of course, Emi is purposely keeping me in the dark about everything, which is likely but unpleasant to think about. I drift down this unpleasant train of thought for a while, losing track of the conversation. Hey, Emi, I've been meaning to ask. Huh? Okay, here we go. Are you going to visit your father this year? From the way she says it, you'd think Emi's mother was talking about the weather. From the way Emi reacts, it's clearly not the weather they're talking about. My guess is a grave, unfortunately. She flinches, a slight jerk of the head backwards, as if she's just been slapped in the face. Can we talk about this later? Her voice sounds brittle, strained. It looks as if she's been severely shaken by the question. It seems that Mrs. Ibarazaki misjudged just how close Emi and I are. Some things, it seems, are best not conversed about with me around. Her father is one of these things. The accident that took her legs is probably another one of those things, if her reaction to that earlier conversation with her mother and myself is any indication. It doesn't take Emi's mother long to realize she's screwed up. Of course we can, dear. I'm sorry to bring it up. I just wanted to ask so I could make plans. It's fine. Don't worry about it. Emi fidgets nervously, as if embarrassed by her own reaction. I confess that her reaction is confusing. She's only ever mentioned her father to me earlier today, less than a few hours ago even. Why does a simple question about when she'll visit her father cause such a strong reaction? Unless whatever serenity she claimed to have reached by means of our talk the previous evening has suddenly evaporated. or it didn't help as much as she thought, or claimed. I'll be right back. Gotta visit the little girl's room. Amy gets up suddenly and leaves the table, leaving me and Mrs. Ibarazaki alone. I'm a little conflicted. Should I go after her, or should I stay here? It's obvious that Amy's departure was not based on the call of nature. Something's bothering her, and I have to know what it is. The only way to find out is to go to the source, and the source is currently pretending that she has to use the toilet. I excuse myself politely from the table and head that way, only to catch sight of Amy, not in the bathroom, but in the kitchen just next to the living room. Amy's left the door open, and as I approach, I can see that she's holding onto the table in an attempt to compose herself, an effort that fails as soon as I open my mouth. Doesn't look like nature's call was that urgent. Amy jumps and glares at me. What are you doing here? I didn't come here to be with other people. I just want to help you. You looked pretty rattled. I said it was nothing, didn't I? And besides, I thought we'd established that you can't help me. No, we've established that you're stubborn. Look who's talking. The guy who followed me. This is different. I want to help you with whatever this is. Funny, because I just want you to leave me alone. But why? Why can't you just trust me? We've been over this already, Hisao. I've got to deal with this stuff on my own. I won't accept that. You need my help. You just won't take it. My wording seems to have been a little off. Need? I need your help. Well, it's a good thing we met, isn't it? Because otherwise I guess I'd just be a broken human being, wouldn't I? No, it's a damn good thing that Hisao came along to save the day, isn't it? Because God knows I can't save myself, can I? I'm just a poor, emotionally damaged girl with no legs, right? Amy, you know I don't think that. Really? Because if you thought differently, then I don't think you'd be here saying I need your help. I've gotten pretty far in life as a normal human being without you. So what? Nothing we've shared was important? I'm just a guy who hangs out with you? You're my boyfriend, Hisao, not my savior. Well, no, that much is obvious. You won't even consider that I could be a help to you, will you? You'll just bottle it all up and hope that a run will solve your problems, or you'll come visit me and we'll fool around until you feel better. That's not being a healthy human being, Amy. That's not what a relationship means. Well, it's what it means to me right now, Hisao. I wish... She seems to reconsider her words just then, a flicker of pain, of doubt on her face. For a moment, I think she's about to cry. But the moment passes, and now she's composed herself again. Whatever that wish was will have to go unspoken. Look, I can't do this right now. What? Have a serious conversation? Be open? Be honest? Give a damn about anyone besides yourself and your problems? What do you know about my problems? Nothing! You don't know what I've been through, so don't pretend that you do. I know you have nightmares, and I know your father's gone. What happened to him? Amy's head jerks backwards as if I've just slapped her. That brittle quality has gotten back into her voice. That's enough. This is stupid. This whole conversation has just been variations on Amy stonewalling me. What? You won't even answer that question? Fine. Keep your secrets. They can lie in the grave as far as I'm concerned. Amy's eyes widen in shock. When she speaks again, it's in a voice that's slow, dangerous. Get out of my house, Hisao. The sudden change in her tone snaps me out of my self-righteous anger and makes me realize with a dawning horror what I've just said. Emi, I didn't mean... I said go, Hisao! Tell my mother that she cooked a wonderful meal, but now you've forgotten a prior engagement and get out of my house. She's trembling now, shaking with anger, sadness, or determination. Her voice is still low and controlled, almost a growl. I reach out to put an arm on her shoulder to apologize for going too far, but she jerks away from my touch. Get out! What can I do? I walk out of the kitchen and go to the living room, make my apology to Mrs. Ibarazaki, and let myself out. Emi's sprite is still behind her. A mistake, but those happen. Okay. So we actually got a little bit of drama, but I think it's pretty obvious on what happened to her father. And she's struggling about it with herself. The morning alarm sounds and I roll over, switching it off. My eyes open blearily to stare at the ceiling. What am I going to do? Do I get out of bed, go down to the track and pretend nothing happened? Will Emi even show up? After last evening's events? I doubt it. Even supposing that she did, what do I do then? Get over this fight just to dance the same routine the next time something's bothering her? I know that I spoke hastily last evening, trying to use her father as leverage. But was anything I said really off the mark? She won't let me in, ever, and she'll be forced to suffer alone. Nothing I do, nothing I say is going to change that. She won't change, and she's decided to keep me at an arm's length. Can I really bring myself to go down there and see her, knowing that I'm never going to get past where I am now? No, I decide. I really can't. Not today. I roll over and go back to sleep. She probably won't be there anyway. Okay, I think that's where we are going to cut off this episode of Katawa Shoujo. So we actually get some drama, and the drama will continue in the upcoming episodes, I feel. Thank you guys for watching. My name is Negacious. If you want to support this series and my channel, please click the subscribe button below. Make sure to comment and like the video as well, and click the bell button next to the subscribe button to get my videos whenever they are out. But for me, my name is Negacious, and I am out.